Hey, it's Simone with the Charlton Advantage team. And today I want to talk a little bit about buying real estate. If you're sitting on the fence or you're trying to make that difficult decision of taking the plunge, but there's something holding you back, right? Like if you're fearful, you're worried, you're uncertain. I want to talk with you today about what real estate can do for you and why buying real estate is the best way to increase your wealth, right? There's a thing about fear. It's false evidence appearing real. And when you're about to make decisions, you need good information in order to make the decision. So what I want to do is share with you a little bit about, why taking this step is the best step for you. And I'll share with you a little bit about my story as well as many of the clients that I've worked with and how it has changed their life. This is the thing. Say, if you're, working and, you have a little bit of savings and you're trying to kind of figure out, do I get the car? Do I go on a trip? Do I do the bottom line is you're gonna need to live somewhere. So the question becomes, are you gonna keep paying rent and filling somebody else's pocket and building their wealth, or are you going to take the step to do what's right for you and start building up your wealth and take the step to buy the house, get over the fear and move forward? I'll tell you a little bit about my story, right? As all you know, I'm Jamaican. I came here when I was 20. My husband and I bought our first house when I was 27, right? And the thing was, it wasn't easy and it wasn't the best house either, right? The reality was, is that was one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life, which is to take the leap and just move forward, right? Our first house was a townhouse, 3 bedrooms, 2 washrooms, starter home, right? Just like many people and many of the clients that I work with, we had dreams, grand dreams of buying big houses and, all these things with double car garage, whatever. But you know what? When we sat down with our realtor, we had the reality check of what the budget could afford, right? And what the budget could afford was a small townhouse in Brampton. But can I tell you that at 27, when I made that decision, right? It was tough. It was hard because we had to scrimp and put all the monies together to make the deposit and to do the closing costs, right? But the doors that property opened for us has been unimaginable. And even, to give you examples of my clients is that, I've helped many clients have walked into my office. And when they walk in, they're like, you know what, we don't even know if we can afford. We just saw the ad, we came in and we start talking. And one of the key things I try to do is to give people the hope that they can buy a property. Because the reality is that usually is the game changer in your life. That is the thing that starts a ripple effect that makes things better. So you come into the office, you start talking, this is what you can afford. We run through the numbers, right? And then in looking at it, we see what makes the best sense, right? And I'll give you a specific example. I have a young couple, they walked into my office and they were like, they didn't even think they could afford something. But lo and behold, we were able to buy them a 3-story townhouse here in Milton, right? And they told me what their goals and their dreams were. They're like, Simone, you know what? We would like to own a detached 4-bedroom property. But right now, this is what the budget could afford. And so we got them into that first house. It was stressful, they were worried, but they made the decision. That's the important thing. And after living in the house for a year, this is the beauty about real estate, right? Because it's the long game. It's the long game. And so after living for a couple of years, they were paying down the mortgage. The property is slowly appreciating in value. And I was keeping in touch with them. And then after a while, we both realized that, hey, you have enough equity that you could possibly make the next step. And so we started to do some research and, figure out exactly what's going on. When we ran the numbers, we recognized that they had enough down payment and equity from this house that they had bought because they had entered the game, right? That they could now do the next step, which was that detached that they were dreaming of, right? And so, we did the process, we sold the smaller house, and we're able to get them a 4-bedroom detached house with a walkout basement. Now, that was the kicker, because that now was the thing that's going to take them to the next level. So what they did was now they finished that walkout basement and they got a tenant there. And when they got the tenant there, they're saying to me, oh, but Simone, you know what? We're literally supplementing our mortgage. Now things are actually getting a little easier for us, right? And so as I sat and I talked to them, I said to them, guys, you know what? You actually have some opportunities here. Over the next 5 to 10 years, as you pay down your mortgage and as you build more equity, the nice thing is, this is a 4-bedroom with a walkout basement. You literally can rent this entire house and go buy the big kahuna dream house now, right? And they really love that idea. So now, with those specific clients, we're on a plan in the next 3 to 5 years to revisit the situation. And now they've literally made the leap from first-time homeowner to landlord, now to multiple properties. And it wasn't as complicated and as difficult and as, complex as many people make it seem. Of course, it is not like it's not like everything is absolutely easy. There's always going to be bumps along the road. But the bottom line is that, they made the leap and they started the process. And yes, there's work involved. They had to finish the basement. They had to find a good tenant. But do you notice that gradually they built and built, and now they're on even to the next level of wealth building, right? Just from transition to transition to transition, right? And at the same time, it's not like they're breaking the bank or putting themselves in financial difficulties, right? While they're making these steps. What I want to share with you guys is that real estate is the number one best way to build your wealth. But you can't start the process unless you make the first decision and make that first leap of faith. So if I could leave you with one message today, just like how I've helped that client, many other clients, and even for myself, the story is the same. The beauty of real estate is you can use it to help replicate one on top of the other, top of the other. You just need to figure out how. And it's not rocket science. Other people have done it, and you are no less and you are no different from all those other people. It can be done, and look at it. All the rich people that you know about, every single one of them own real estate. Am I lying? No, I'm not. The reality is they're doing it because it works. So if I could leave one message with you today is make the leap, take the step, do the do. You're going to be happy that you did. Take care. Talk soon. Bye.